I didn't think that you'd ever play a character nastier than Cliff Vandercave, but here we are. What is it about Hank that, in your opinion, just makes him such a revolting person?
I've never thought of him as a revolting person. He it's for the greater good. All the decisions are for the greater good, and he has a twinkle in his eye, a sort of a glee moment, with everything. And he's also just a guy that's like gonna get it done, And he believes in his mission. He believes in what he's doing, and he has fun doing it.
Yeah, as the worst people always do. I want to say Norm has this great line in the first episode: "Plans are hard, chaos is easy." I really liked that. Moises, how much does that line reflect Norm's headspace this season?
I think to the T. I think he goes into this situation without a plan, and it immediately bites him, and he has to figure out a way to sort of follow his sort of examples and lead this now community of people out of this vault, not only surviving himself, but finding food and water for everyone else, shelter for everyone else. But at least he got out of the scenario and situation he put himself in.
I wanted to say the first time that we see Hank in this season, he's wearing the power armor, and there's just this like, you talk about the gleam in your eye, but there's just like this almost, I don't know, just a devilish kind of smile on your face. What did that suit do for you as an actor in terms of shifting Hank's presence or his confidence or how threatening he feels?
It's everything, Hank. It's one of those things when he walks in and, honestly, the real definition, I think, is this: the armor is a means to an end for him. And I think he enjoys it. It's a protective suit, but really, Hank's suit of armor is his brain and his ability and his physicality, and he knows that he can do anything. He can take down any enemy because he's smarter than they are. So the armor is really just a way to get to a place safely, and then he discards it. He doesn't need it anymore.
How practical was that on set? Were you in a big giant suit of armor?
Yeah, I was. I was in a giant suit of armor.
Comfortable?
Yeah, I could still enjoy a cup of coffee, so that was the main thing.
Well, last question for you guys. I would love to know for both of you, what's your most prized possession that you each kept from set, if anything?
Oh gosh, they didn't let us keep anything.
You don't have a set of power armor?
I only got the boot.
Just the boot.
Just the boot.
Yeah. Shoot. That's tough.
They didn't let you keep anything at all?
I don't think I kept anything at... Oh, well, I do have a lot of mice at home. I have a lot of mice. And they're getting more and more and more. So I guess that was my thing.
Now, I want to know, first off, I'm a huge fan, have been for years and years, and it's great to meet you. How fun was it watching people guess who you're playing when the news dropped that you were going to be in Fallout?
It was a ton of fun. Are you kidding me? Like, everyone was like, "Oh, they were throwing all kinds of guesses out there." When I first put I put something on my Instagram, and they're like, "Oh, he joins the cast," and people were guessing all over the place, like all the comments and all that stuff, and somebody guessed it right. And you know what I did? I hearted it. I waited 5 minutes and I unhearted it. So it was just enough time for them to go, "Look, I was right!" And before they even had a chance to show their friends, it was gone.
Oh,
So, yeah. So yeah. But like I said, there was one person who was able to kind of pull it out of the ether. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say you deleted it, but what you did was actually much meaner.
Oh, it's a little meaner, yeah, for sure. This kitten's got claws.
Now, maybe it was the sociopathic charm, but I definitely got flashes of Henry Evans from The Good Son, which is one of my favorite movies. I want to know, did you feel any echoes of Henry in there playing this character? And how well do you think Henry would have thrived in The Wasteland?
To answer your second part first, I think Henry would have absolutely thrived. I think he'd be running his own little empire somewhere out there in the wasteland. Yeah, probably more in the Northeast, somewhere in Massachusetts or Maine or something.
Yeah.
But yes, I think he would have held it down if he hadn't fallen off a cliff. But spoiler alert for a 30-year-old movie. But no, I mean, I brought my own spice to this one when it comes to that kind of stuff. I try to treat every kind of gig like it's their own and stuff like that. Like,
Sure.
I'm not sitting there and going like, oh, like what part of Richie Rich am I going to bring to this? Like, I don't know.
Now, the Legion is one of the more extreme factions in all of Fallout. So, did you dive into the games for research just to get a feel for the faction or that world?
Yeah, I mean, I never played the game, but I was very familiar with the lore. It's a kind of thing that's like I don't have time to play because I got two boys at home, so I don't have time to play anything. But also, I do listen and watch like a lot of these kind of like YouTube things or whatever. And this is before the show even came out, before even I was a part of it. So I was very familiar with that kind of stuff. So I was pretty steeped in it, pretty good. Like I already had kind of 1 foot over there. And then, but yes, no, but especially once I knew I was stepping into the Legion, I was like, all right, let's double down, to bring in some Vegas parlance, yes.
Yeah. So, how comfortable was the Roman armor that you got to wear on set? Maybe comfortable is the wrong word.
Not very. It was a little tricky. My back usually hurt, and my shoulders too, because everything is on the upper part, the breastplate. So everything was pulling down on me. So usually my shoulders were quite sore at the end of the day. And also, one of my proudest moments was when I learned to go to the bathroom by myself. Humble brag, I know, but yeah, it's still, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, see, you're doing that. I almost stabbed myself with one of my spikes one time. They're like, "Would you mind put your fist in the air?" I'm like, yeah. Jeez, like it almost poked one of my eyes out, and my good eye too.
I think we're also fellow pro wrestling fans, and I was thinking this character would be a great pro wrestler, I gotta say. Now, last question for you. I'd love to know what's your most prized possession that you either kept from this set or just from any set throughout your career?
Oh man, they don't let me keep nothing off of this one. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, no, are you kidding me? Like everything, because also they only had on this gig, they only have one of everything. But at least when it came to my character, like it was just like, yeah, like can I keep that helmet? They're like, absolutely not. Like that is we have to do a 3D scan of your skull for that. I'm like, all right, cool, all right, sorry, asked. It's not gonna fit anyone else. I don't really keep a lot of mementos and stuff. I usually kind of put things out in the ether. What I do for a living has a very temporary nature to it. So it's like it's very quick to kind of to lose those things, to get overly attached to them. I kind of really don't. Yeah.
Outdid yourself. This fantastic. What I've seen so far.
Oh, that's so kind.
No. You guys did an amazing job. I want to know what's the biggest philosophical theme season 2 is wrestling with that wasn't presented in season 1?
That's a great question, because a lot of the character questions are continuations, right? These are the same characters, or the same philosophical themes are sort of continuing in their journeys. Of course, Lucy's approach to violence and the ghouls and so on. But I think in terms of new philosophical questions are, we're going to New Vegas, where Robert House has been king, and Robert House brings with him a wealth of, I think, really interesting questions. His ability to plan the future, to me, brings up questions of whether we live in a deterministic universe, but also questions of he's a technocrat who feels like he can basically make humanity better with his new technologies and his robots. And the question, with all of these, that's a very relevant, I think, personality type to our world. And it's a matter of what actually ends up unfolding with those technologies that he created. Was it ultimately for the greater good?
Yeah, very scary, relevant, I should say. Fallout fans are all, they're already hunting, I think, for connections to New Vegas. I'm glad you brought that up. But how did you approach honoring that game without being handcuffed by it?
Well, we love the game. We're all huge fans of the game, and so that we were really inspired by it. We were really excited about getting to play with some of the things that are introduced in the New Vegas game. I don't think we ever felt handcuffed, particularly in that, like, first of all, it's such a great game. There's nothing bad, negative to be handcuffed to, but also our story takes place 15 years after that game takes place. And so what we were hoping to show fans is a lot of what they recognize, and a lot has stayed the same. But just like how in, say, my city, Los Angeles, a lot has changed in the last 15 years. A lot has changed in the city of New Vegas in the last 15 years since the game was set. And so I'm excited for fans to see maybe how societies change, new faction, different people take control. There's, as you probably noticed from the trailer, like what happened to the Kings. There's just things have happened, and we're excited to show fans that.
One thing that my team and I would love to know is, will season 2 be giving Fallout New Vegas a canon ending? Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it had 5 endings or something like that.
We try very hard on this show. That's a really interesting question. It's something that Jonah and Graham and I talked about from the very beginning with Todd. We really try, by setting our show after the games, to be able to basically, the mists of time sort of obscure which ending actually is true. And the reason that was important to us is it's not it really came out of, it's not trying to dodge anything. What we're trying to do is be able to honor all the different players' experiences of playing the games. Like, we don't want our story to feel like it's a contradiction of any particular player's choices that they made in the game and that they had fun making. So what we really went to great lengths to do, and I hope we were successful at it, is make sure that, like, the canonical endings are all possible, and then time passed, and then there's our show. And that was always the way we've been approaching it, really, because we didn't want to contradict anyone's experience and bum them out.
How much of the future map is already locked in? Like, without spoiling anything, do you know how this series will end?
We have had a lot of fun conversations amongst ourselves and with Todd about that. So we do have a lot of ideas, and we're really excited about them.